In this English lesson, you will listen to an English teacher speak in English, hopefully clearly and slowly for you, while we tour my apartment in Paris for the week. This is your first time here. My name is Brent and I teach English here on YouTube, American English. But take a look at the neighborhood where I have been staying for the last couple days, about 5 days. Beautiful neighborhood. This Airbnb cost $200 each night. Let's try to get in here. Very old street. According to ChatGPT, it's very dark here. It was a street that started in about the 1500s. This building that you will see here was built around 1800, so about 225 years old. Let's see how do I get in here. It's a little tricky getting in. I think I have to push this. I think I heard a click. Pull. I was pushing instead of pulling. So take a look at this courtyard. You will not see this where I am from, which is the country of the United States. Our buildings are just too new. I think I showed this in another English lesson if you haven't seen it, but this is where all the trash goes, and this is where all of the residents of this apartment store their bikes. Paris, I think, is a pretty bike-friendly city. There are a lot of bike lanes, so if you don't want to drive a car, which I don't know how anybody does, we've had some great Uber drivers, but it's not something I could do. Now, since this building was built in 1800, there are a lot of stairs. That will be the biggest challenge for me in this English lesson, is talking without being out of breath too much. Sometimes the lights come on automatically, but it looks like we won't have lights here. Let's talk about the word treacherous. 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 It means very dangerous. These stairs, they're kind of treacherous because in the dark, they're a little uneven. So your feet might not know how to step on each one because they are not exactly the same. And there is no elevator. Let me talk about this Airbnb for a second, so I'm not too out of breath. I highly recommend this Airbnb. They let us check in early. So as soon as our flight got in, someone was here to meet us. And they did not know that I would be filming this. Also, our checkout time, they gave us a couple extra hours because our flight leaves this afternoon. So they have been very accommodating. Whew, as you can tell, I'm a little out of breath. For the last 5 days, all I've been doing is climbing stairs. And I've heard that Paris gets a lot of rain, just like London. But we've only had a little bit of rain all week. Okay, this door is a little tricky. Let's see. Very old door, of course. I think it has taken me 5 days, but I think I know how to do it quickly. It's just like, well, oh yeah. When Jamie and I first got here, Jamie is my wife, if you didn't know, we had a hard time with this door. So there are 3 things you need to do to get into this Airbnb. But, deep breath. Okay, I'm good. But it's an awesome stay. So just know that when we first checked in, it was a lot cleaner. This apartment has been lived in for the last couple days. I like that term lived in because it can describe a hotel room or an Airbnb, like when you get there, everything's perfect. Everything should be clean. The bed should be made perfectly. My wife made the bed this morning. It looks good, but just know when you check in here, if you ever decide to come to Paris and stay here, it will be a lot cleaner than this. Let's check the view out first. Great view, quiet neighborhood. We slept so well in this king size bed. Now, not sure if the microphone is picking up the sound, but there is a police car going by. I can hear it, but with these windows shut, you can't hear it. So we're pretty high up on the, I have no idea, 1, 2, 3. We might be on the 4th floor up here, but yeah, you might be able to hear that siren. With these windows closed though, you can't hear anything. It's a very quiet street. Very few cars come down this street. And you can see a lot of people use bikes for transportation. There is a car down there. I'm filming this in February. I can imagine in the summer, this will be full of green plants, which would be nice. Look at all of those plants up there. February in Paris. I would suggest coming in February. The crowds, pretty small, not too bad. And the weather, at least where I live in the northern United States, it's a lot warmer here. What else should we check out? TV. They have one. We did not turn it on. So you can see my luggage is here. Jamie's luggage is here. They do have remote controls to the TV. The man who showed us the Airbnb when we arrived told us how to use the TV. We never used it. I don't know how to use it, but if you come to Paris and you want to watch TV, I wouldn't suggest that. I would try to spend more of my time sightseeing. But if you want to save money on meals, they do have, which we did not use, but they do have a microwave. They do have a stovetop. What is this? Oh, they have a dishwasher. Did not know that. We didn't do any dishes here ourselves, but we ate out for all of our meals. Look at that. Plates, cups, bowls. Everything you need for a meal. Toaster up there. Looks like a coffee pot. It looks like an Italian style coffee pot up there. But down here they have, in English we might call this a Keurig. A Keurig. It's the name brand of this machine. And it has those little Keurig cups you can put in there. Jamie and I are not coffee drinkers, and I would call this a kettle in English. So for tea. In the United States, we don't drink a lot of tea. Most Americans, I think, prefer coffee over tea, but that looks like something you could use to make tea. Also, refrigerator. Oh, there's my, this is my crepe or my crepe from last night. I thought I might have it for breakfast. I don't think so, but oh, it's nice and heavy still. It's a meal for 2 people. When we arrived, there were 4 bottles of water for us. One is still there. We've only drank half of this one, but it was very nice to find out that there was water, because one night Jamie and I came home. We were thirsty. We're like, oh, there's always tap water you could have. The tap water is perfectly fine to drink, but when we looked in the refrigerator, there were 4 cold waters there, and that was awesome. They also have plenty of guides for you to look at while you're here in Paris. Some other books there. In English though, right? Is this in English? I have not looked at these books. The Hotel New Hampshire, that is definitely an English title. I don't have my glasses on, but even I could tell that book was in English. Some nice artwork up here. Some nice flowers. I do believe they are fake. Yes, they're not real, but lovely. This stuff, I think we'd call this incense sticks, maybe? No, I don't know what these are called in English, but they're sticks that smell good. Let's call them that in English. Sticks that smell good. Looks like there is an angel. Oh, a couple angels up there. A place to hang your coats, a small coat rack. Now, this is all my stuff. This has been charging. Those are like extra battery banks for my camera. My AirPods are charging, and we would call this a universal adapter. I used this when I was in Brazil, Iceland, Poland, Turkey. It's great to have if you are going to be traveling internationally. Bedroom, I think we should, hang on. Maybe we should talk about the artwork. I'm not going to show you this, but there is a piece of art where there is a woman, but she really doesn't have a shirt on. What we found in Europe, Jamie and I, what we found is that nudity is a little more accepted here than in the United States. It's just different culture. You go to some parts of the world, they might think we don't have enough clothing on when we just have shorts and a t-shirt. So just know we toured the Louvre yesterday. A lot of penises, a lot of breasts, but just different, right? They also have a washing machine. And this is the drying rack. So we were here for 5 days, and I brought a very small backpack. That's all I brought with me. I think I brought 4 change of clothes. Yeah, maybe 3. And in the middle of our stay, I did a load of laundry. Perfect. So it saved me from having to pack too much. I always look for an Airbnb with a washer. This did not have a dryer, but they dried pretty quickly. Let's look at the bathroom. The only problem is that there is a fan going. Hopefully the sound is okay. But yeah, just remember, when we checked in, everything was perfect. Our dirty towels are now on the floor. But yeah, everything you need. Bathroom sink, toilet. Hey, let's talk about the flushing system. There's always these 2 buttons if you want to use a little water or a lot of water. I'm sure you can figure out why you need the difference. But that was a big thing here in Europe. Not so much in the United States. It's usually just one lever to flush the toilet. That shower had plenty of hot water here. Jamie and I could each take a shower in the morning without running out of hot water. Yeah, good stuff. I think I showed you everything here. Well, yeah, everything important. They do have a safe. They told us that if we wanted to leave our passports in there for extra security, we could. We didn't feel like we needed to. A fireplace that may have worked at one time, but no longer does. So that's my Airbnb, and what I want to do now is flip to a different scene and show you a park here in Paris. Let me interrupt for a second. I forgot to say there is a link in the description if you want to stay here. They are not paying me to say it. I don't even know if they know I'm making this video, but I would recommend this place. And I think I forgot to say like and subscribe. I think all YouTubers have to say that. So still early here in Paris, but I want to show you a couple things. There are a lot of these public restrooms around Paris, and here's a great thing for guys at least, but I do think it helps the women. So you have a little sign here, definitely for men, but you can only what do we say? Go pee. Watch this. Go in here. That's it. It's just a little drain. for the men. I mean, I suppose, I don't know how that would work, but I guess a woman could use this bathroom if they're desperate. But it says either it's available, it's free, or somebody's in there. I don't think we have any of those in the United States. And here, I couldn't get this to work, but soap and water. Drinkable. Oh, I looked at this quickly before I made the video. I thought it was not drinkable. See that word? It must be French. Potable water. But you sometimes will see that in English. If the water is not good to drink, it might say like non-potable. Potable is another way to say drinking. But I don't know if anybody's in here. This looks like a typical bathroom. We don't need to go in there and see that. But even though we are in the middle of the city, the Latin Quarter is just up that street. What the Parisians have tried to do is create little green spaces in the middle of the city, like this little garden or park. So nice. I would love to, let's say, live up there. Very peaceful, at least in the morning. Gets a little crazy at night, but and I'm filming this in February, so it's not as green as it will be in like May or June, but just a nice little place. You can come here, sit down, listen to the birds chirping. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's beautiful. Little chilly. I saw my breath, but not too bad. It's supposed to be 60 here today in Paris. We'll be gone by then, unfortunately. Our flight, we have to start going to the airport at about noon. But look at this. A little place for free books, some magazines in there. I mean, Paris has figured out quite a few things that the United States has not figured out yet. You know, a little trash can, but also recycling. Maybe a fountain for drinkable water, I would assume, right? Does it work? Okay, so the fountain doesn't work, but that's okay. It's just a beautiful little place. Some steps will go up. I don't know how far this park leads, but just beautiful houses. People have their plants out. Well, it looks like that plant all the way to the right, that is a cactus. A cactus. Weird word in English. It still retains its Latin plural form because you have one cactus or two cacti. Kind of strange. We do have some of those words left over from Latin. You don't add an S to make it plural. You sometimes add an I. For example, a little bit of a hill there. I'm out of breath. I went to the University of Alabama. I graduated from there. I am an alumnus, but many people, like my wife also went there, so we are alumni. So more than one person who graduated from a school. I haven't seen the sign that says, "Watch out for rats," like most of the other parks in Paris. So maybe there isn't a rat problem, but let me be clear, I have not seen a rat my entire time here in Paris. I hope you have enjoyed this little look around Parisian bathrooms and Parisian parks. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.